Hezbollah's latest attacks have delivered a deadly jolt to the Israeli military, as the Lebanon front heats up with fresh cross-border strikes and escalating battlefield claims. Hezbollah now claims more than 26 strikes on Israeli forces as Lebanon reels from one of the deadliest phases of the current escalation. Hezbollah has again targeted the IDF just days after releasing its "We will hunt you down" video, a propaganda message meant to underline its pursuit of Israeli troops on the battlefield. Hezbollah has reportedly claimed carrying out 26 attacks on Israeli forces since the afternoon of May 7, as fighting intensified along the Lebanon front. The Lebanon-based group said those attacks inflicted casualties on Israeli forces, according to Al Jazeera's reporting on Hezbollah's battlefield claims. However, Hezbollah did not specify the number of Israeli military casualties in those claims, leaving the exact toll unclear. Al Jazeera citing Hezbollah said, and I quote, "Attacks included a missile strike on an Israeli tank outside the Lebanese town of Deir Siryan, shelling of an Israeli advance on the town of Haddatha, and a strike on Israeli soldiers gathered in the village of Labbouneh." Unquote. Hezbollah said it targeted Israeli military positions as the IDF intensified strikes across southern and eastern Lebanon. Southern Lebanon then witnessed one of its deadliest days of Israeli airstrikes on May 8, with multiple towns hit in a broad escalation. Israeli attacks killed more than 30 people, according to the latest toll cited in reporting on the May 8 strikes. Meanwhile, the IDF also struck Beirut on May 6, marking the first attack on the Lebanese capital since the April truce took effect. As Israeli jets and artillery keep hammering southern Lebanon, Hezbollah is responding not just with fire but with dramatic new footage that tries to show its fighters hunting IDF units from the air. On May 7, the group released a slickly edited video titled, "We Will Hunt You Down," showcasing its FPV drone units as elite hunters stalking Israeli forces along the frontier. The visuals lean on Golden Eagle imagery, mirroring how loitering munitions circle, select and dive on targets, casting the drones as predators and Israeli soldiers as prey. Shot after shot underlines both the precision of the impacts and the patience of the operators, suggesting they can shadow patrols and vehicles for minutes before choosing when to strike. The new reel echoes earlier clips of FPVs tracking Israeli armor in valleys and along berms, building a narrative that Hezbollah's eyes in the sky now watch almost every move near the blue line. On the ground, May 7 saw Hezbollah launch a mix of rockets and explosive-laden drones at Israeli troops operating in and near southern Lebanon, keeping pressure on multiple sectors at once. The IDF says its defenses intercepted most of the incoming fire, but acknowledges that some drones managed to explode close to forward positions and staging areas. Despite those near misses, Israeli officials report no injuries from this particular barrage, stressing that fortifications and early warnings helped limit the damage. In parallel, Israel says one of its strikes killed a Hezbollah operative shortly after he fired rockets and tried to hide the launcher, highlighting the cat-and-mouse cycle of fire and counterfire. According to the IDF, the target moved his equipment into a civilian building before being hit, a claim Israel presents as proof that Hezbollah embeds launchers inside populated areas. Another airstrike reportedly destroyed a separate rocket launcher that had been used in earlier attacks against Israeli forces, part of what Israel calls a rolling campaign to grind down Hezbollah's arsenal. The IDF says that between the nights of May 6 and 7, its aircraft struck roughly 20 Hezbollah-linked targets scattered across southern Lebanon. Those targets, Israel claims, included weapon depots, suspected drone launch sites, and at least one cell caught transporting arms in a truck along a southern route. Airstrikes also hit what the IDF describes as weapons manufacturing infrastructure in the town of Nabatee, signaling that rear area workshops are increasingly on the target list. All this comes as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly claims Israel has killed more than 200 Hezbollah operatives in the past month alone, framing the campaign as steadily eroding the group's frontline units.
Last night, we eliminated Hezbollah's Radwan Force commander in the heart of Beirut. This is the same senior terrorist who led the plan to conquer the north. He thought he could continue directing attacks on our forces and our communities from his hidden terrorist headquarters in Beirut. In the past month, we eliminated more than 200 Hezbollah terrorists, 200 terrorists who acted against Israeli citizens and IDF soldiers. We are doing the same thing in Gaza, eliminating terrorist cells, including yesterday.
Meanwhile, the IDF has appointed a brigadier general to focus specifically on the FPV drone threat, treating Hezbollah's small kamikaze craft as a distinct new front in the war. This officer, a pilot who heads the force's strike division, has been tasked with writing fresh doctrine and pushing new tools into the field to give troops a clearer playbook against FPVs. Israeli reports note that some Hezbollah FPVs are guided via fiber optic cable, making them hard to jam and tricky for traditional radars to spot when they skim low over ridgelines and wadi. In response, units have begun stretching netting over vehicles, trenches and small outposts, hoping to physically block low-flying drones from diving straight onto troops. The army is also pushing more mobile radar systems to the front, aiming to give platoons those extra seconds of warning when a swarm or lone FPV pops up on the scope. On the ground, soldiers are testing everything from shotguns and special anti-drone ammunition to automated turrets, trying to work out what actually brings these fast, nimble drones down. At the strategic level, Israel is leaning on global partners and defense firms to co-develop new counter-drone solutions, knowing that Hezbollah's tactics today could be copied by other adversaries tomorrow.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.